Hi everybody, it's great to be back here again on Itamar, and this week's portion we're going to talk about Jacob and rocks. It's called Vayetzeh, and it begins by telling us that Jacob left Beersheba and he came to a place on the way to go to Haran, Mesopotamia, because of course he was running away from his brother Esav, and he was told by his father to leave, and that's where, of course, where he built the whole house of Israel. But on the way to the land of Haran, he stumbles across a very important place, and he decides to take a nap over there. And our rabbis teach us something very, very interesting about the place. Number one, it happens to be Moriah, the place of the temple, where the temple is going to stand in the future. And number two, it says that Jacob took from the rocks, in a plural form of the place, to rest his head upon them, or to put them next to him. And our rabbis add that these rocks had a big argument with one another. And every rock said, I want you to be the pillow of this great, righteous Jacob. And they began to argue, and the other rock said, no, I want to be the pillow of Jacob, etc. And finally, after Jacob has the dream about the ladder from the ground reaching the heavens, and the angels going up and down, and finally, when he gets up from the dream, and it says that he took a stone, the rock became a rock, which he turned into a monument, etc. So the question is, what happened to the rocks that became a rock? Well, that's exactly what happened. Our rabbis teach us that the rocks argued with one another, and finally peace was made and became one rock. And that's what happened in the end. This way Jacob avoided the conflict of the rocks and became one rock. Wow. When our rabbis teach us, midrashim, as we say, tales, these are not just regular tales. They have very, very powerful internal meaning, spirituality within them, to teach us an important concept about understanding what is going on over here. And they did it in a story form. This is what the Midrash is all about. Not all Midrashim are meant to be taken literally, but to understand them on a very, very deep level, obviously. Especially this Midrash, when rocks, I haven't seen rocks talk to one another or fight with one another. So obviously there's something very, very deep behind this story. And what does it mean? Well, in order to understand this, we have to talk a little bit about King David, who was very connected to that same place that Jacob was resting upon, because King David was the one who purchased that area later on, when he purchased the threshing floor. And King David had a problem himself. Why? All the nations of Israel, 12 different tribes of Israel, all of them, of course, wanted to have their inheritance be the place of the holy temple of Israel. So how would David avoid such a thing, an argument like this? Well, he decided to collect gold from every one of the tribes, and thus every tribe had a portion in that particular area. Yes, it wasn't only the tribe of Judah or Benjamin, really every tribe had a tribal position, a portion of this land, and therefore this whole area was really united for the tribes of Israel. And this is how David avoided conflict. Well, it's amazing that this whole story, the Kli Yakar, one of the commentaries on the Bible, very, very great commentary, he comments that this goes all the way back, and this is the deep meaning behind this Midrash, which talks about Jacob and then the stones, which means these stones each represented a stone of a different tribe that eventually will want, of course, to have the holy temple in his possession. And of course, Jacob decided to make peace by saying, no, you're all part of the holy temple. Every one of you have a portion in this holy temple itself. And this concept to understand, why is it so important that every tribe wanted a portion of the holy temple to be in his land? Well, I don't think that's a difficult question. The temple is the center of spirituality of the entire universe. It is through the temple where Hashem's presence rests, and through the temple, which is the center of prophecy, the center of divine spirituality in this world, comes from the temple. Of course, everyone who would not want to be part of that. And therefore, the tribes were very, very excited about being the one to actually be the resting place for this holy site. But David HaMelech, of course, ruled, and Jacob started with Jacob. It's part of the entire house of Israel. And this is amazing, where Jacob now is on the way to Haran, Mesopotamia, to build his family, to build the 12 tribes. And he's going with this dream and this prophecy in mind. And that this site over here, we're going to return with the family of Israel, and we're going to build the entire house of Israel. And the temple will be built in this particular area, and will be part of everyone from the house of Israel. Of course, we can't forget a very important fact, that the temple is not only for the house of Israel. The Jewish people are destined to be a light to the nations and to teach Torah to the entire world of what God is all about and what it is to be a divine worshiper, to really love Hashem and how to worship Hashem. The nations of the world need to be guided. And the center for this, of course, is going to be the temple, just as it says in Zechariah. The 10 men will come and will hold on to your garment and say, teach us. We want to go with you. We heard that God is amongst you. And the temple, therefore, Jacob going out now to exile, leaving Israel, to build his family, but also represents the fact that there is something out there that has to be rectified. And the temple is not only for the house of Israel, but of course, it's for us to be a light to the nations and not to forget that we have to reach out and help the nations of the world reveal God in this world and become one with Hashem in this world. There are so many things that are going on in this world that distract the nations of the world from understanding and wanting to follow the Jewish nation in understanding the light of God. And for 2,000 years, history has sent false messiahs in the world. And they have sent false writings in the world that have created a tremendous amount of confusion amongst the nations of what is to be a real God fear. Today, after 2,000 years, the world is beginning to see how Israel returned to its land, is rebuilding itself physically and spiritually. There's no more Torah anywhere in the world than in Torah in Israel. The greatness of the Torah that is being studied here in the land of Israel. And things are happening. The world is waking up out there. But it's very hard for people that have all their lives grown up in a certain way to leave paganism or to leave foreign concepts that they're used to. There has to be an understanding on the side of the Jewish nation. To be a teacher means to have patience to teach and to want to help when those who want to be helped. Of course, those who don't want to be helped, those who have no interest, we're not forcing ourselves upon anybody. We just want to be out there for those who are really interested in finding a way, a path to Hashem in this world. Well, it's been great being back again. Have a great Shabbat. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye for now. Bye.